Okay guys, okay, slightly different intro compared to the normal. We deep undercover in Bandai HQ because we're doing Operation Vibe Check. And you're probably wondering what the fuck that is. So I'm going to break it down to you. We got 3 criteria going on right now of the new reveals that Bandai keep be dropping. 1, the artwork. The artwork better be clean on these new reveals. You know what I'm saying? Because you know me, I'm all about vanity. When my dad be blinging, it better be blinging. Ooh, better keep it down. Keep it low key, getting too excited. 2, are the effects even good? Because I ain't in the mood to be running trash, and I'm sure that you guys don't want to be running trash either. 3, are we going to be actually running these cards in our builds? Being important here, Bandai be dropping the support, and I ain't in the mood for freaking pack filler. No way. So if this is a video for you, as we keep it low key and see what big Bandai be cooking, make sure you subscribe and turn the notification bell. If you're new to the channel, like what you see, make sure you get your undercover gear on, subscribe to the notification bell, and let's get going. Because we're already freaking late. Right, let's do it. Okay, vibe check in session. And we got our boy Huckmon up in here with a new Jesmon support. And you know I'm a Jesmon fan. So let's see what, the chefs have been cooking in Bandai. Because I feel like it's there, but there's something off. And I'm not sure what it is. So further ado, let's go over to the first one. Huckmon. First off, we go with the artwork. The artwork, I like it. Showing Huckmon takes no boop. He's all in there. He's like, yo, you throwing rocks at me, chief? Nah, move aside, we got this. So I love the dynamic, love the pose, love the effects. I'm curious to who the hell he's versing. Maybe he's versing Graviton or something, I don't know, but man, I tell you, it is absolutely manic in that artwork, but I love it. So, vibe check instant. So let's go over to the actual ability, because today this is an uncommon, which I'm going to have to get the pre-release stamp for. Thank you, Bandai. It's crazy what this start of main phase is actually doing. So, start a main phase by trashing 1 card with Huckmon or Sistermon in its name, or Royal Knights in its trait from your hand, draw 1, gain a memory. Beautiful. The thing that they're kind of hinting here is that they're wanting us to be pushing out from the rookie stage, which makes me a little bit nervous. I'm not gonna lie. Usually, it's very rare I'm pushing out with Huckmon. Well, pushing out with a Huckmon, let's just say. Usually, I'm pushing out with maybe BaoHuck at a stretch, but SaviorHuck is usually the go-to, and I'm doing stuff. So the fact that they're wanting us to go in that direction makes me curious of what kind of new Jess or Gankoomon we're going to be having in order to support this kind of new direction being the thing. I could be completely wrong, but in order to get that, we need to be out on the field. We can't get that in Raising, unfortunately. Then, the Inheritable. Your turn. All of your Digimon gates 1000 DP. Nice. Everything. Blanket. Even if it's not on the field, gets 1000 DP. Very, very nice. So, what do I think of this boy? Solid, though I'm curious in regards to what they're wanting us to do with this Huckmon in terms of they want us to be banging, raising, set up, push out, then go up our line, past the opponent to the memory. I mean, I'm not about that life, if I'm honest. Like, when I get the opponent to the memory, they usually clap my cheeks. So I don't know. But if there's a way for me to be like super solid at top, which there is, then fair dues. But I need to be doing big damage. That big boop energy. That's what I need going on there. So overall, it is good. Does pass the vibe check. Easy. So let's go over to now the level 4s. So BaoHuck. And let me tell you, I've been waiting for a decent BaoHuck to be printed for freaking years. And finally, Bandai delivered. But did they deliver too well? Being the thing. I'm going to go over it. So we can hard drop this bad boy for 5. Which is alright. It does have main. Once per turn, you may play 1 Digimon card with Sistermon or Gankoomon in its name from your hand and reduce the cost by 2. So, woo, this right here is spicy and makes me a little bit concerned in terms of the future of support we could get using Gankoomon in its name being the thing, and possible aces which obviously have a reduced cost. I'm all for cracked effects, don't get me wrong, but I feel like the Gankoomon in its name could be dangerous just because we have aces which naturally on the level 6 you're probably looking around about 7 to 6 play costs. We're going to be hard slamming or possibly playing a Gankoomon ace, let's just say, for possibly 4 or 5. And depending on what its on play is, could be pretty freaking nuts. We don't know. We don't know. This is just me merely speculating. But the fact that it's in its name makes me just a bit like Bandai. Like, this is probably one of the best BaoHucks we've had ever printed for the archetype. In order for us to get Sistermons out, which is pretty crucial, is great move. Absolutely great move to have it on our lower end. Being the thing, we don't have to rely on our level 5 to get our Sistermons out. Being the thing, great. But having the Gankoomon in there, I'm just like, is it a little bit overkill? No, because I like cracked effects. But I just don't want this bad boy being restricted because of Bandai's poor sense check in terms of what they're going to be doing. It doesn't. Let me just forget about this BaoHuckmon existing. Print a freaking cracked Gankoomon. We're there abusing the spectrum mode. Oh, the problem is BaoHuck. I'm like, whoa, pause. You know what I mean? I don't know. I like it. Don't get me wrong. Just concerned. And then inevitable, similar to the Huckmon, able to get 1000 DP to all of your Digimon. Bang. So, effect, sweet. Running the deck, hell freaking yeah. Artwork, nice. He's posing. He's deflecting a lot of stuff. It looks like he's done like a master Muhammad. I don't know what's happening, but a lot of things are freaking clanking about. A lot of sparks going on. So I don't know if he's done a rapid cut or so forth, but he's done something, and I approve. So absolutely solid. Vibe check stamped. So let's go over the freaking girl right here. Sistermon Ciel awakened. We finally have awakened support right now. About time. Seriously. BT what? 7? When BT20 up in this boop, I swear. So let's go over the artwork. It's alright. Underboob certified. It's just like mark on the chest, okay, or stomach, midriff. It's fine. She looks confident. That's about it. She's kind of just a bit static, sunbeaming. Nothing really much to say. It's okay, but not the best. Like, that's all I'm going to say about that. If we're getting all art, banging. It'd be cute if we do get a nice Sistermon all art. In all honesty, for the Awaken line anyway, would be sweet, but I'm not freaking crossing my fingers for it. But regardless, let's go over the actual effects. The effects are freaking cracked on this girl. I swear to God, this is nice for this archetype. So, Digivolve for the cost of 1 on top of a Sistermon Ciel, which most of our line is. We've got very strong Sistermon Ciels. Trash and all turns. When any of your Digimon are played, one of your Sistermon Ciels may Digivolve into this card without paying the cost. Beautiful. Free Evo. When any of our Digimon are played. So 9 times out of 10, it really shouldn't necessarily happen on the opponent's turn, but we don't know what options are going to be cooking. We also do have cards such as like Judgment of the Blade, which could come back. Don't know, probably not. But the security effect does enable us to play out a Sistermon from hand or trash, which is kind of nice, which will prop this. So very interesting how we do have a nice little free Evo we can cook up, because it's on play when Digivolving is that one of your opponent's Digimon or Tamers can't suspend until the end of their turn. Beautiful right here. We love the fact that we got some Tamer Disruption. Like I've mentioned in my previous video, Tamer Disruption is huge, and I feel like a lot more decks should have access to it, because god damn, it's just some decks just, because we can't interact with tamers, they just go run riot, and it's a bit annoying. A bit annoying. And then, end of all turns, place this Digimon top security card at the top of the security, top of our security, which is great. So obviously, if we've either on top of Sistermon Ciel, we can literally just put this on top of our security, recover one, in essence, with this, and still have out our Sistermon Ciel. Huge. Honestly, Awaken Blanc is power crept. I don't know how they're going to make that card better than this. in all honesty, this recovers, it stuns, free Evo if possible. Absolutely win. And we can still play this out. It's on play, still does that exact same thing. It's a great card. Absolutely fantastic. So, definitely in the deck. Vibe check approved. That's how we do. So now let's go to the level 5. So, finally, another Savior hook up in this business. And let's go for the artwork. Once again, great dynamic. Absolutely. I like the theming is just very in this desert. This desert, clawing stuff. Very dynamic. Got that nice motion blur on the claw as well, which is sick. Great positioning. I like what they're doing. So let's go to the actual effects. So Evo for the cost of 3 on top of any red Digimon, which is sick. The fact that it's actually, its inheritable is very universal is nice. So really good if it is part of a Royal Knights deck, being quite spicy. I'm not gonna lie there. But it has gone on playing when Digirolling. Delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 5k DP or less. Bye bye floodgates, baby. About freaking time. So this just means that that shit ain't gonna block us unless they put 2 down. That's only how they're gonna get around that, if they put 2 down. So the fact that we can just get rid of any floodgates is huge. End of your turn, by suspending one of your other Digimon, this Digimon may Digivolve into a Digimon card with Jesmon in its name in the hand without paying the cost. That right there is spicy, because there's a lot of plays that you can do in order for you to kind of reclaim back turn by playing another Sistermon and gain memory. It's very nice on what this can do. It can facilitate a lot of different builds with Jesmon, and I think that's where like the thread got a bounce out for the thread right there. The thread always the goats. I think that's where the thread are at the moment, is in terms of like where do we go with Jesmon in regards to how to play it, because it feels like the chefs of Bandai ain't done cooking yet. I feel like there's going to be another wave of support where it's going to really kind of flesh out the deck, because realistically the Jesmons that we have now, if we go base, we have one that obviously grants Blitz, which is quite nice. Blitz does work pretty well with this, because obviously we can Evo, end of turn, and then blam, start procking off a load of effects and so forth. But it does require the decent kind of inevitable stack in order for you to not pass over too much memory. But lucky enough, you don't have to pay the cost. So if you pass over at 1, then blam, you go into Blitz Jess, which naturally would cost you 4, but doesn't cost you anything. And then you can start popping off and so forth. And obviously you gain an additional security attack, but then you don't get the effect to essentially unsuspend being the thing. But we do get an effect here where basically this Digimon with Royal Knight trait gains Alliance, which once again gives you that type of aggro, bit of aggro, DP boost on top of what you're actually going to be suspending to get that DP from the other Digimon is beautiful. But it is that piece of where, like, how are we going with this deck? How's the top end going here? Because the top end is very, very strong. But like Bandai just went in and just like, you know, F the rules. We're just gonna go in hard. So overall, passes the vibe check. Very solid Savior Hook. Most likely you are going to be running this for real. So let's go over to the level 5s and then obviously the level 7, which will wrap it overall up. So we've got the new Gankoomon X Antibody, which artwork banging. Pass, vibe check. I love this. Gankoomon has never missed in terms of artwork, apart from the regular art of Gankoomon X Antibody, but then it just redeemed itself with the fucking absolute shadders of Gankoomon. People know I'm right. I was holding the clogs like you better slap a fool down. But right here, it's got that dynamic pose, bro. Gauntlets on blast. Boys like, you want to test me? Trust you do not. I kid you. So, overall, beautiful. absolutely beautiful. This, literally, get rid of the border. This shit is looking all art supreme. But it does Evo for the cost of 5 on top of red or black Digimon, which is a huge cost. Absolutely huge cost. Don't get me wrong, it's a very powerful effect that he grants. But if you Evo on top of a Gankoomon, it does cost you 2. Obviously, there is ways to reduce that. We do have Proto Form, and then we also do have cards such as obviously X Antibody that you can attack and obviously do a pseudo blitz in that sense. If you've kept 10, which is absolutely fine. But when Digivolving, Digivolve to one of your opponent's Digimon. Beautiful. We love Digivolve. That just prevents any form of ace shenanigans that might pop out. Then, if a Gankoomon or X Antibody is in this Digimon's Digivolution cards, until the end of your opponent's turn, none of your Digimon are affected by your opponent's Digimon's effect. Wow. Wow. You know what? Man, if that effect was printed back in, like, the original Gankoomon X, Death X won't be an issue. Honestly, boy, Death X can't break our board. Like, it is crazy how cracked this is. This is kind of bringing back the relevance of options. Because we're kind of in that kind of era where it's like, options don't mean, we just don't have much room to run options. I feel like we're getting to that point where, like, options probably might have to be put back in our deck. Because a lot of Digimon just protect you from opponents' effects. And this is just a pure example of what this brother does, because it's all Digimon. So if there was a lot on the field at that particular point, blam, this brother protects it. Which is nutty. The issue here is that incorporating into the old GX support, which is BT10 GX, is that you have to have a based Evo or an X Antibody in the source to even get this off, as it's when Digivolving, because it clearly states, then if a Gankoomon, so it's not Gankoomon in name unfortunately, or X Antibody is in its source. So that would obviously include for if you are using BT10 GX, that if it ain't there, it ain't there. It can't look at itself because it's got X Antibody in it, which is the bit that is like, when you try to use it in the old build, it's a little bit troublesome. So it kind of raises the debate of like, what's Bandai cooking? What are they cooking? What is strong antibody going to be doing? Is it going to be a secret? Who freaking knows at this point? They're really keeping it very, very, very close. Like, the reveals, hang on, like freaking slow ass. But I'm hoping that like the new X Antibody is going to be doing something to kind of finish this up, which would be nice. Then opponent's turn. All of your opponents with Sistermon, Huckmon in its names, or run that in its traits, gain reboot and blocker. So that kind of just like negates the whole relevance we were having Sistermon Blanc BT6, because this brother just grants them all there anyway. Being the thing, it's huge. Even same with the inheritable opponent's turn. While so this Digimon's a GX, all of your Digimon gain reboot and blocker. Massive. This deck goes incredibly wide. So the fact that we've all got blocker and reboot, huge. Absolutely huge. So effect wise, cracked. Pretty broken for rare. Artwork, banging. Is it going to be used in the deck? For sure. Though at the moment, it really makes the deck have more steps in order to try and get this off, which is annoying. Regardless, vibe check approved. Let's go over to now. Oh boy, Jesmon X Antibody artwork, straight to the artwork, fucking amazing. Christ, this is not even the freaking alt. It is a rare. It's a rare, and this. Well, we won't have an alt. We might have an alt, I don't know. But the fact that this is a rare, it looks gorgeous. Like, absolutely stunning. If you took the border off, blam. Sold. Absolutely sold. So, Evo for the cost of 4, which does hurt. Obviously, you can reduce that down with a proto form, so it costs 3. Great way to get X Antibody in, and if that's going to be the direction how Jesmon goes, so be it. But for us, it's kind of going to be hard drawing into that bad boy, which is not necessarily bad. We do have cards that we can just actually just draw a lot of cards, which is fine. But 9 times out of 10, we could possibly be whiffing on those X Antibody options there as well. So if you Evo on top of a Jesmon, it does cost 1, which is A-okay. It does have Alliance, which is very interesting right here. Honestly, the whole new support has got so many freaking keywords, I can't keep track. But when Digivolving, if Jesmon or X Antibody is in this Digimon's Digivolution cards, for the turn, one of your Digimon isn't affected by your opponent's effects. Then, one of your Digimon may attack. So, technically, it can create itself a pseudo blitz if it wants to. It's not affected by anything. So, it's got Gankoomon X Antibody as effect, just laid on that bad boy. Wow. Wow. They went in. They went in right there. So, it's quite interesting now looking at this. And this is probably a way you can give your BT20 GX Blitz, pseudo Blitz, being the thing. Though you still have to meet the damn condition of having X Antibody in its source or a Jesmon, being the thing. But that is a way that you can get a pseudo Blitz to kind of have the similar effect as the BT10 version, which is pretty cool. It is pretty cool. Now looking at it, when I initially saw it, I'm like, meh. But no, that is actually kind of spicy because it is a one Digimon effect. Then, your turn. All of your Digimon with Sistermon in their names or Raw Knight in their trait gain piercing and can also attack the opponent's unsuspended. Wow. Wow, they just went in on this. Honestly, they just jam-packed it all in. That's a freaking rare. The fact that we actually just got half of that Evo effect off, you know, the actual SR version, and the fact that we're getting this, and then the inheritable, whilst this Digimon is Jesmon GX, all of your opponents gain piercing, and also can attack unsuspended Digimon, is pretty freaking nutty. So, insta vibe check, approved, there's nothing wrong with this card. Spare Ribs just went in and just like, blam, make this look sexy, and absolutely succeeded, got me wet over here. So, yeah, there we go. So, let's go over to now the big boy, the actual SR of the Jesmon support is going to be the Jesmon GX. So, artwork, clean, absolutely nice. Cannot argue with the artwork whatsoever. It delivers, makes our boy look glorious, but it's got that punch like, Keish! Do it! Do it! Do it! Giving that DJ kind of like Street Fighter 4 energy right there, which is beautiful. Can't knock it. So, Evo for the cost of 6 is more than the original GX, which I completely missed. So, I mean, Huckmon's going to be putting work right here. Getting that memory on swinging with level 7. Sheesh, going to need it. It does obviously have the Blast Evo being the thing. And that's a good benefit. It's the fact that we don't have to DNA Blast if we can Blast Evo, but it does have a DNA Digivolve where possible, which is pretty awesome. There's not necessarily a way for us to kind of get a DNA Digivolve off, unless we use like Durandamon. Is it Durandamon? Or Durandamon? The level 5 does have the DNA effects that you could possibly shoehorn in if you really want to. It's completely up to you, but yeah, it's quite hefty. Hard slam for a 9 if you want to. But it does have an on-play, when Digivolving, and when attacking, all once per turn, by placing one Raw Knight card, trait card. So, like, before we even read any further, the fact that it actually says Royal Knight trait card, I'm going to assume this time we can actually put Master Disciple in there. Could necessarily say a play cost of something, or play cost, because that was the thing that basically stopped you from tucking that underneath BT10 version, is that with a play cost. They don't have play cost, it's use cost or something else. So yeah. So the fact that you can actually tuck that underneath if you want to is kind of nice. Gives that option a bit more relevance in order for you to support the actual trashing effect that it has. From your hand or trash, as this Digimon's bottom Digivolution card, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with as or less DP as this, which is pretty banging, because if we do roll in with the BT20 support, this brother should be sitting around about 18k. That's deleting most things. That is literally defeating most things right there, which is absolutely fine. Does have a when attacking once per turn. This Digimon unsuspend, nice. And then for every 2 Royal Knight traded cards in this Digimon's Digivolution cards, trash your opponent's top security card. Which is pretty friggin' banging right there. So, overall, sweet. Quite interestingly though, I suppose, because it's the one attacking, obviously Digimon unsuspends. Oh no, I mean that completely wrong. Ignore me. I'm there thinking only can get that like trashing top security card once, but that's not necessarily the case because essentially, oh no, actually, yeah, that would only happen once. So you wouldn't necessarily say, for example, the opponent had 6 security. I do the when attacking, I don't suspend because it's once per turn. I'd basically only be able to trash an additional card. So technically doing 2 checks, 1 trash, we do a check, I swing again, but I won't be able to do that again. Basically the trashing and the swinging again. Which, I thought I could go hard. Now reading it, it's okay. At the end of the day, 9 times out of 10, if they are at 3 security or 2 security, you should be winning game. You should be winning game. Depending on what your security stack is packing, that's how that should kind of be going down. Which should be pretty much a game ender right there. Because you're going to be an immovable force, this brother should be staying on the board right there. And then because we do have the when attacking effect, we should be deleting anything that's kind of going to be in our face. So it is a good card. It is good. I just feel like at the moment it's a bit clunky of trying to get that off being the thing. And would I dedicate a full deck surrounding this card? I'm not too sure until I see what the X Antibody option is going to be. I just don't know. I still prefer BT10 GX if I'm honest, but that could just be bias right there. It could just be being biased just because it is amazing. It's aging like a fine wine. I kid you not. So overall, artwork banging, effects okay. They're okay from what I can see. I could be wrong. I'd be more than happy to be wrong, if in all honesty. So it does pass vibe check. I just don't know if it quite overtakes BT10 GX. I still feel that's the stronger one because it has got that pseudo blitz. That blitz, well, not even a pseudo blitz. It has blitz. This would have pseudo blitz if you essentially took a. Well, you won't even matter because you can't even talk and gain the effects, which is annoying. So you wouldn't even have pseudo blitz. Yeah, forget all of that. What I just said. Yeah, I feel like it's a cute tech, but I don't know if I'd solely run it in. I feel like it's probably more for a Royal Knight's deck, if I'm honest. I feel like you can do some crazy shenanigans, but I think for a GX deck or Jesmon solely, probably still leaning towards BT10. But drop a comment in the box, let me know what you think. But guys, that's all I got for you. Operation Vibe Check is done. I need to get out of Bandai HQ before I get busted. But guys, if you enjoyed the video, make sure you smash it a like and standard. Stay safe, stay fly, and I'll catch you in the next one. That's your boy, off the mic.